Fortune may favor the bold, but true power lies in the hands of those who inherit it. Imagine a world where wealth flows from a legacy as old as time itself. Today, we're unearthing the stories of the richest old money ladies in history, women whose fortunes were more than just numbers in a ledger. Get ready to be captivated by lives lived in luxury, but driven by more than just a thirst for opulence. Number 1. Eleanor of Aquitaine. Our first stop is in the Middle Ages and the life of Eleanor of Aquitaine, a woman whose wealth and political power were unprecedented in her time. Born into the wealthy and powerful Duchy of Aquitaine, Eleanor inherited vast lands and wealth, making her one of the most desirable heiresses in Europe. Eleanor's first marriage to King Louis VII of France made her Queen of France, but after their marriage was annulled, she married Henry Plantagenet, who would become King Henry II of England. Eleanor's wealth allowed her to live in grand style, and she was a patron of the arts and literature, fostering the development of the courtly love tradition. Her life was a tapestry of political maneuvering, cultural patronage, and personal drama, making her one of the most intriguing figures of the medieval world. Number 2. Isabella of Castile. Next, we move on to Queen Isabel I of Castile. She stands as one of the most formidable figures in history, and not just because she was one of the richest monarchs of her time. Her wealth, which accounted for a staggering 1% of global GDP at its peak, was a reflection of her power and influence, a rare combination for a woman in the 15th century. Isabel's fortunes truly flourished when she married her cousin, Ferdinand of Aragon, a union that was both strategic and deeply political. Together, they consolidated their control over all of Spain, uniting their kingdoms and laying the foundation for the modern Spanish state. By the time of her death in 1504, the Crown of Castile boasted an annual income of about 1.45 million ducats, Spain's gold currency at the time. Personally, she possessed some of the most valuable jewels and tapestries in the world, a testament to her immense wealth and refined taste. Her collection was renowned, with items that could rival those of any other European monarch of the era. Number 3. Catherine de' Medici. Our next stop takes us to the 16th century to meet a woman whose wealth wasn't just in gold, but in power. Catherine de' Medici. Born into the illustrious Medici family of Florence, Catherine married King Henry II of France and became one of the most powerful women in European history. Catherine's life was marked by political intrigue, religious wars, and an iron will. As queen consort, and later as regent for her young sons, she wielded enormous influence over French politics. Her wealth, inherited from the Medici family, was legendary, and she used it to support the arts and architecture, helping to shape the French Renaissance. But Catherine wasn't just a patron of the arts, she was also a shrewd political operator. She navigated the treacherous waters of French court politics with a mix of charm and ruthlessness, ensuring the survival and success of her sons' reigns. Catherine's legacy is complex. She is often portrayed as a Machiavellian figure, but her wealth and power are undeniable. Number 4. Catherine the Great. Now, let's travel back to the mid-18th century. Catherine the Great was an economic powerhouse whose fortune, adjusted for today, would have made her one of the richest individuals in history, equal to about $1.5 trillion. Her reign over Russia, an empire that spanned vast territories and held immense resources, placed her in control of roughly 5.4% of the world's GDP at the time. This incredible wealth was matched only by her political and cultural influence, which left a lasting legacy on Russia and the world. Originally a German princess, she married into the Russian royal family and later became the Empress of Russia. Her rule from 1762 to 1796 was the longest of any female leader in Russian history, and under her reign, Russia expanded its borders, modernized its administration, and became a formidable European power. Despite the hardships faced by the majority of Russians during her reign, Catherine's rule was a period of significant cultural and military achievements. Catherine's personal wealth was legendary, allowing her to live in opulence while funding the empire's military and cultural aspirations. Number 5. Hetty Green. Next, we fast forward to the 19th century and cross the Atlantic to meet Henrietta Hetty Green, a woman who was as feared as she was wealthy. Henrietta Green, often called the Witch of Wall Street, was a financial powerhouse whose reputation for shrewdness and frugality made her one of the most formidable investors of her era. Born into a wealthy Quaker family, Hetty inherited a substantial fortune, but it was her uncanny ability to navigate the turbulent waters of the financial markets that truly set her apart. By the time of her death in 1916, her net worth was estimated to be over $100 million, a staggering sum at the time, equivalent to billions today. Hetty Green was a woman ahead of her time, operating in a male-dominated financial world where women were rarely seen, let alone influential. Her ability to not just preserve but grow her wealth during times of economic distress made her a legend in her own time. She could single-handedly sway markets with her decisions, and her fortune only grew larger during financial panics that ruined others. At the time of her death, Hetty Green was known as the Wizard of Finance and the richest woman in America. Estimates of her net worth ranged from $100 million to $200 million, a sum that would be equivalent to $2.7 billion to $5.4 billion today. This immense fortune made her arguably the richest woman in the world during her lifetime. Number 6. Lillian Bettencourt. Lillian Bettencourt, the L'Oreal heiress, was one of the wealthiest women of the modern era, her fortune reaching an astounding $40.7 billion in 2015. As the principal shareholder of L'Oreal, the cosmetics giant founded by her father in 1907, Bettencourt's influence extended far beyond the boardroom, impacting global beauty standards and consumer culture. If you've ever picked up lotion at the body shop or swiped on Maybelline lipstick, you've contributed to the immense wealth of Bettencourt. L'Oreal, under her control, wasn't just a beauty brand, it was an empire. L'Oreal's journey from a family-owned business to a publicly traded global powerhouse began when it was first listed in 1963. Bettencourt's leadership and strategic vision were key in driving the company's expansion and success over the decades. Though she suffered from dementia in her later years, Bettencourt's legacy continues through the enduring success of L'Oreal, a testament to her impact on the global stage. Her wealth may have peaked at 0.055% of the global GDP, but her influence on beauty, business, and culture is immeasurable. Number 7. Yang Huiyan. Yang Huiyan, one of the wealthiest women in China, inherited her fortune from her father, Yang Guoyang, the founder of Country Garden, one of China's largest property developers. At her peak, her net worth soared to $16.2 billion, accounting for 0.025% of the global GDP, a staggering figure that placed her among the richest individuals on the planet. Huiyan's journey in the business world began at a young age. As a teenager, she attended board meetings with her father, absorbing the nuances of the real estate industry. This early exposure to the family business prepared her for the responsibilities that came with being the major shareholder of Country Garden. When her father transferred his holdings to her in 2007, she instantly became one of the richest women in China. However, the global financial crisis of 2007 and 2008 had a profound impact on her fortune. The economic downturn led to a significant devaluation of real estate assets worldwide, and Yang Huiyan's net worth plummeted, dropping from $16.2 billion to $5.2 billion. Despite this dramatic decrease, she remained a key figure in Country Garden's leadership, serving as vice chairman of the board of governance. Despite the fluctuations in her wealth, her legacy is firmly established as one of the most powerful and influential women in modern China. Number 8. Charlene de Carvalho Heineken. Every time you crack open a Heineken, you're contributing to the fortune of Charlene de Carvalho Heineken, one of the most powerful women in the brewing industry. Her wealth, which peaked at $12.7 billion in 2016, makes her one of the richest individuals in the Netherlands and a key figure in the global beer market. Charlene de Carvalho Heineken is the only child of Freddie Heineken, who famously led Heineken International as CEO from 1971 to 1989, transforming it into the world's third largest brewer. When Freddie Heineken passed away in 2002, Charlene inherited his 25% stake in the company, instantly becoming a significant shareholder in one of the most iconic beer brands globally. She represents a modern face of old money, one that embraces growth, adaptation, and the challenges of maintaining a family-owned business in a rapidly changing world. And there you have it, a journey through the lives of the richest old money ladies in history. These women were powerful, influential, and in many cases, ahead of their time. Their fortunes may have been inherited, but they used them to shape the world in ways that are still felt today. If you enjoyed this deep dive into history's most fascinating women of wealth, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an episode. Leave a comment below to let me know which of these incredible women you found most intriguing. Until next time, keep exploring the past. It's richer than you think.